Hello guys, Rishi here. Welcome to my channel. So in this episode we are going to see how can we design like an Instagram messages using HTML CSS. For example, I have a demo here. The right side of my screen you can see that we are having several chat pieces where the linear gradient color has been applied. Like when I scroll it through the messages, you can see that the messages at the bottom are in the blue, and when I scroll above, the color changes. You can notice that, right? So this is an updated version of Instagram messages, and in this video we are going to see how we can do this using HTML and CSS. And now let's get started. Okay guys, now let's start with the new empty file. So I'm going to initialize this with doc type as HTML, and I'm going to start this with the HTML tags. Of course we need a body for the HTML page, so I'm creating a body. So now as we saw in my previous videos, we have seen about the div element, right, and how to use it. So just to refresh your memory, just div element, we can use that when we need a custom component, or when we are going to create a content that is not explicitly mentioned, like whether it is a header or footer or navbar. So we can use div elements like when we are going to use the custom components. For example, we will be seeing here. For example, I'm creating a div tag with a class name called as container. So actually this is called as element abbreviation. If you want to create a div tag or any other tag with a particular class name, you can just mention it with the dot along with the class name. And once you're done, you can press the enter. See, Visual Studio Code will be completing it for you. So this is the root container for the entire web page actually. So inside this, I'm going to create another div tag, which I will be calling as chat div. Okay, and within this I'm going to create another div called as chat container. Enter. And within this I'm going to create another div. Okay, right now it may be confusing because there's lots of div, but once we get into the styling part, I'll be showing you why we're getting so much div tags. So each of these divs will be having separate styling to get the final output. So yeah. Within this I'm going to create another class name called as chat, and click on enter. So this chat div will be holding all our messages. For example, I'm typing hello world, and if I need to add another chat, I'm going to copy this div, the same chat class name, and I'm just typing like what's up, and I'm just copy pasting it. Okay, and now if I press save, and yes, live server is currently running. We go to the web page. Yes, see, so we are seeing generally without any styling part. So if you see in my previous video, I've already talked about div, and div is a block element. So because of that, it is taking up the entire width of the web page, and because of that, it is taking the default line breaks, right? So yes, so this is how the web page will be looking without styling. Now let's get into the styling part. So let's start with styling. So in this tutorial we are going to see how to style using style tag. So before going into that, let me paste this code. This is the default code actually, and I will explain this. So now Instagram is using a font called as Montserrat. So I have picked the URL link for font from the Google APIs, and I imported using the art import integrator. And for default purpose I'm using star. So the star means like whatever the styling you are giving into this braces, it will be applied to the entire HTML elements in the web page. Right now I want the margin as 0 and padding as 0 by default, and I'm mentioning the font family as Montserrat, and along with that I'm just grouping it with sans serif. Now I'm saving it, and let's go here. Yeah, you can see the font has been changed. So now let's look at the demo. Okay, so in this demo, if you see that we are having the background color as black, right? So in order to achieve that, we can come to the code and can create a body selector, and I'm choosing the property background color as black. And next thing, I can set the height as 100 VH the view height, and for width I'm just choosing as 100%. It covers the entire web page. And as far as display concerns, I'm just using flex. For those who don't know what the flex is, I'm going to do a separate video regarding how it works, so can ignore for this now. Maybe we can have this discussion later in the later videos, right? And I'm going to create a new padding top for one rem. Again, a rem is a measuring unit similar to px, like pixels. It is another measurement unit which is preferred by most of the web developers right now. So I'm going to use that, and I'm saving the file. Now let's see the result. So right now, yes, we are having the background color is black, but the font color is also black, so we cannot see that. But you can see right now, right, once I selected this, we can see the padding top is applied and background colors, so everything's fine. So now as the next step, we're going to style the container class container, and I'm just gonna give the width as 100%. And for now, let's give some minimal styling for chat. For example, I'm giving the font color as white so that it will be easy to see the results. Okay, yeah. Okay, now let's start writing for chat div class. Again, for this class, I'm giving the display as flexbox. And right now I'm clicking on sound, nothing will happen. Now what I want is, we want this text to be appearing on the right side of the screen. So what we can do is, we can give the justify content as flex end. So you can see that the entire text is appearing on the right side of the screen. So this is the main usage of the flex. It is actually used to customize the layout with minimal effort. Okay, now let's add another selector for our chat container. Here again, I'm going to use the same properties like display as flex, and I will be using the justify content. Yeah, actually I'm going to use the align contents here, because if you see here, okay, right now since I use the display flex, it automatically wrapped into a row. So right now we need a column, right? So we can use the flex direction property, and we can give as column. If I save that, it will go back to the column. And right now I don't need this black space here. I need it to be just how to say, it should be look like this hello world text. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna use the align items. I'm gonna give the same flex here. So if I click on save, it will go back. So right now I've added some more of the text so that we can easily see the changes when we do the change. So I'm removing this color, so I'm gonna simply paste the code so that it will be easy to explain rather than typing. So we already seen this color, right? This color is we already seen. So right now we need a linear gradient color as a background. So that is the main effect, that is the main key to the this effect of Instagram that they have implemented. So there's a function in CSS called as linear gradient, where we have to give the start color. So the start color right now is the purple color, and I have given the 3 colors actually, like it is like a steps starting from purple, going to blue, and to the next this another kind of blue. And these are some hardcode values so that we can take it from internet. And I'm just giving it as no repeat so that it will be just coming like plain in a vertical manner and as a center. Okay, now let's hit save and see what happens. Okay, we are getting this result. Now we can see that how it works, right? So the next property that we have defined is a background attachment as fixed. Now let's remove this, and I'm hitting save. Now we can see. So what is happening here is the linear gradient that we have defined, right? It is implemented for each and every development, but we don't want that. We need to apply the linear gradient color for the entire web page, not to each and every development. For that, there is a property called as background attachment, and we are giving as fixed so that it is simply fixed to the background of the web page, so that it will be looking like, you know, it is applied for the entire web page. Yeah, that is the main purpose of this property. In addition to that, I have defined the border radius. Border radius is nothing but you can see the curvy edge of each and every development, right? So yeah, that is what it meant actually. We can define the measure. I have measured actually using the rem. You can give any other measurement you want, but yeah, that is what the basic idea of border radius is. And padding is nothing but the distance between the text and the edge of the development. For example, if I'm zooming in here, you can see there is a distance between h and this edge of the square, right? So that distance, that is called as padding. And margin is nothing but the distance between the right side of the document to the element that it is placed to. So I have defined that using the rem also. And basically I have used rem entirely in this project. Okay, now if you look into the demo, we can see all these texts are grouped into like grouped to each other. So there are some kind of distance between each and every messages. To achieve that, we can we are actually, how we can do this, we are having the chat container, right? So this is the root of this chat classes. So what we can do is we can define a margin bottom of some unit so that it will be grouped together like we have seen there. So we are implementing in the chat container for margin bottom as let's take 5 rem. Yeah, so we are getting that result. Now if you look into the demo, there is one more feature they have implemented in Instagram, that is different border radius for different messages. If you look at the top of this message, you can see the border radius different when compared to the second message and third message. So we're going to see how to implement that. If you come to the code, we actually going to change the chat container a little bit like this. So let me explain how it works. So we are taking the chat container, which is the root of chat class, right? So what we are telling is, within the chat container, this arrow marks gives like whatever inside the chat container. Like we are mentioning the div element that is inside the chat container. We are referring to that particular div instead of directly pointing to the chat class. This is one way of doing in the CSS part. Like within the chat container, there are several div elements, and I am pointing to that div element. And there is another property called as first child. This first child property will be pointing to the first part of the development, and within that development I'm picking only this first child. So I am taking the first child and applying some specific border radius for that. So if I click on save, so if I click on save, you can see the first child is having a different border radius. So similar to that, I'm going to copy the same, but I'm gonna change the first child to last child. There's another property called last child. So I've changed that. Obviously I didn't change the border radius. So I'm going to copy the value from here, the demo code. I'm going to paste it right here. Click on save. Yes, that is it. So right now you can see, so the bottom side it is looking blue, but when it is coming to the top part of the page, it is becoming purple, right? Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please share this with your friends and put your thoughts on the comment box, and let's see you guys in the next video.